The Cupra Formentor is the most popular model in the Cupra stables, and now the VZe Tribe Edition joins the ranks. This plug-in hybrid has some great design upgrades and features and might be one of the most appealing Formentors yet. In this video, we're testing out how efficient it is and whether or not it's worth a look, so stay watching. There are usually only 3 grades available for the Formentor, 2 petrol grades and a plug-in hybrid. The model on test here brings the plug-in hybrid powertrain with some of the features you usually only get in the top model. And it offers great value compared to its luxury rivals, like the Lexus NX 350h luxury hybrid and the Peugeot 308 GT plug-in hybrid, without ever feeling like the poor cousin. You also get, like I mentioned, some of those features that are usually reserved for the top grade or available in an option pack. Standard equipment includes a powered driver's seat with memory function, heated front seats, leather upholstery, a 9-speaker Beats sound system, and a 360-degree view camera. But the full specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au if you need more info. The Cupra Formentor sounds like a Transformers name, and if it was, this would be a Decepticon for sure, because it's way too sharply styled and sexy to be a good guy. This special edition model pairs copper and black 19-inch alloy wheels with a real sports car presence, and it's this presence which its rivals lack. The biggest change from the standard VZe model is the blue Napa leather upholstery that's been liberally applied throughout the cabin, as well as these sport bucket seats, which are usually only seen on the top model. The dashboard has lovely copper accents and contrasting stitching, as well as 2 large tech screens that immediately catch the eye. The sharp styling is continued in here, and there are some edges in the dashboard that look like they could cut, but overall it looks great, just more severe than plush. Access and space is best in the front. The sport seats are very firm though, and you do feel quite a lot of fatigue on a longer journey. However, the heat function goes all the way up the back, which is lovely. The storage is about average for the class, but I do like that the glove box is large enough to handle my handbag and the manual, and that you get a dedicated phone holder that also houses a wireless phone charger. Other charging options are good with 2 USB-C ports and a 12-volt socket. You get wired and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and the CarPlay's maintained a good connection this week and was easy to set up. The touchscreen multimedia system is a bit fiddly to use until you get used to it. And to be honest, it's a little bit difficult to find out where you actually have to touch to access the menu you need. But it is responsive and the graphics very clear. Access and space for this back row is really good for my 168cm height. If you have taller occupants, they might not be as happy with the legroom, but overall the seat comfort's much better than the front because it seems to have more seat padding. However, it's best to think of this row as a 2-seater because when I have my car seat installed, I can't pull down this armrest. Amenities and storage are good. You get 2 map pockets, 4 drink holders, as well as directional air vents and 2 USB-C ports. And because of the tri-zone climate control, backseat comfort is more assured. However, the window sills do sit quite highly, and if you have a kid in tow, they'll make it known quite loudly. The boot has 345 litres of capacity available, and that is on the tiny side for a medium SUV, but the wide boot aperture does trick you into thinking it's larger than it is. I like that it has a 60-40 split in the rear row and a ski-through port. Unsurprisingly, you don't get a spare tyre in this, just a tyre repair kit, and it's always handy having a power tailgate. This pairs an electric motor with a 1.4 litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine, and together they produce up to 180 kilowatts of power and 400 newton-meters of torque. Once the lithium-ion battery depletes though, those figures do drop, and you notice that the most on the highway. This has a smooth 6-speed automatic transmission and can do a 0 to 100 kilometer sprint in 7 seconds. So not crazy fast, but still fun. Like all plug-in hybrids, you get the best efficiency when you plug it in often. And when I mean often, I mean putting it on charge as soon as you come home from any outing you do, because that's the only way to get close to the 1.9 litre per 100 kilometre official combined fuel cycle figure. With its 40 litre fuel tank, you have a theoretical driving range of up to 2,105 kilometres. This model has a lithium-ion battery with a usable 10.9 kilowatt hour capacity and a claimed pure EV range of up to 58 kilometres. After charging it every single time I drove it, and after a mix of city and open road driving, my real world usage has popped out at 2.3 litres, which is a fantastic result overall, but it has been very inconvenient for me at least to be charging it every single time I drive it. This has a claimed 14.1 kilowatt hour consumption figure, but I saw it hover around the 22.8 kilowatt hour when I was cruising at 100 kilometers per hour on the highway. It did reach the mid 60s when I was getting up to speed though. The VZe Tribe is happiest in the city and with a full battery. And under these conditions, this is where the power delivery feels the most responsive and that it feels the quickest and just most sure-footed on the road. Once that battery is empty and you're on the open road, it does start to feel like, although you have the power, it's not as fun as what it is when you're in the city. I put this down to the fact that once that battery is empty, you have power, and it does feel like you've got power in reserve, but it's just not as responsive as what it could be. And also, the ride really reflects the design of this. It's not what I would call plush, it's pretty severe, and the suspension is very hard, which means that you feel every bump in the road. And I do mean every bump in the road. Also, the road noise, wind noise is very high. I've had to really raise my voice so my kid can hear me in the back. At the end of a long trip, I just feel really battered. I really like the firm steering and that this really feels like a driver's cockpit in the sense that I feel quite in tune with what the car is doing, which is good. And these seats really hug you in corners, which is awesome. Visibility is still pretty good despite the narrow windows. If you have a passenger or a car seat in the back seat, it does limit your rear view vision though. The Formentor feels really agile in a tight car park. And this is where it really shines for me. The 360-degree view camera system is really welcome. The quality is probably not what I would expect for this grade level, but it's still good to have. And basically, this is one of the easiest cars to park. Like a glove. The Formentor has a maximum 5-star ANCAP safety rating from testing done in 2021 and now features 10 airbags, including side chest airbags for the rear row. It is usual just to see them on the front, so that's good. It also has a front center airbag as standard. In general, the safety list is pretty long and robust, and none of the systems intrude on daily driving, which is good. But the full safety specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au if you need more info. The Formentor is offered with a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, but it is becoming more common to see longer warranty periods being offered now. You can pre-purchase a 3 or 5-year servicing plan, and on the 5-year plan, services average $398, which is good for the class. Servicing intervals are also reasonable at every 12 months or 15,000 kilometres, whichever occurs first. The Cupra Formentor VZe Tribe Edition has some great luxury features, and the plug-in hybrid powertrain will entice those who want something more efficient than the standard petrol grade. What this model does well, it really does well. I mean, this is a good looking vehicle, but the ride comfort isn't always the best, and that's why it gets the score that's on your screen now. If you're after more details, check out the full review at carsguide.com.au, and I'll see you next week.